Hello lovelies, it's good to see you again. Hopefully I'll get this edited up and done and it'll be up still relatively early, so hopefully it'll be up before the end of Monday, but if not, sorry. But I have filmed it on a Monday, so I'm getting back into the swing of things. Sorry, don't mind me drinking my sort of lukewarmish coffee. Anyway, as I said, it's good to be back filming these little Monday episodes. Oh, I've got some crackers lined up for you. But today's episode is what my eldest wanted me to do. So when your kids tell you to do something, sometimes you just got to follow through and do what they ask so that they feel happy and important and involved. And that's what we like. So this is for her. If you are a big fan of all things spooky, supernatural, strange and weird, then I suggest that you hit the subscribe button and join us on our wonderful, weird and wacky Mondays. We're a big family. Not that big yet, but I've got a few loyal subscribers who, like to get together and talk about all those weird things. So, shall we begin? Welcome to another episode of Ghosts, Myths and Legends. Are you sitting comfortably? Shall we begin? Today's little episode is about Loch Ness Monster. And I know there are lots of videos out there about Nessie, and you probably heard everything about it, and maybe you're sick to the teeth of it. But as I said, my daughter wanted me to do it, so I am obliging her. But I think, for me personally, the idea that it being a kelpie is a very strong thing that could perhaps explain the phenomena of Nessie. I know there are people out there going, ugh, kelpies. But that's what this channel's about, isn't it? Myths and legends. Maybe believers of those things. Sorry, drinking from my it cup. Hang on. Pennywise's eyeballs will be following you as I drink. I do apologise. There have been stories of creatures around Loch Ness back ions. The stories that we first know of came around with the Picts, and when St. Columba was visiting the Picts and seeing their way of life, he came upon a group of men burying another man at the side of River Ness, and he asked them what had happened, and they said that a man had gone swimming in the water and a monster had come out and bitten him and was dragging him in to eat him. Now they managed to take his remains and bury him, but as they were telling him this tale, the monster reared out of the water and lumbered towards them on land, a huge lumbering creature. Now St. Columba was with them, and he said, "Stop! Go back! Obey!" Along those lines. The creature acted as if chained and suddenly been pulled around and had been pulled back by the invisible hand of God, and it went backwards back into the depths of the river. Now the Picts have been drawing depictions of the monster for many, many moons, and a lot of their stones, they show a kelpie-like figure. It's like a seahorse. Not a seahorse, but a horse that lives in rivers and ocean places. Well, maybe not oceans. In broad bodies of water, the kelpie are like a water kelpies. They're water spirits. You may remember the film with the water kelpies with Ted Danson. Going back a bit there. Anyway, the kelpie is a water spirit that lives in broad expanses of water. They take on the appearance of a horse, but they shape-shift. Now, depictions of Nessie have come thick and fast about what it can be, and has been seen in various shapes. Most people imagine it to be the long-necked water dinosaur, the plesiosaur, something like that. I'm sorry, my pronunciation's off. And that is what everyone thinks it is. This obviously hasn't been helped, even though it's become a hoax photo, and well, we know it's a hoax photo now, of the 1935 photo that was taken and became known as the sturgeon photo, or the surgeon photo, which everyone knows is the grey, black and white photo of the head of like Nessie bobbing above the water. Many people have said different things. Maybe it's like a giant catfish, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Jeremy Wade himself did a program on it, on river monsters, and said that it was most probably a Greenland shark because they don't mind cold waters. They've been known to swim as far as our shores, and they can grow very big and are quite, sharky ferocious. They have done tests on the water of Loch Ness to do the DNA. They didn't find any Greenland sharks in it, but lots and lots of DNA from eels. Now, this again prompted people to think that perhaps Nessie is a giant eel, because eels can grow quite big. Most recently, there has been a sonar image. To me, it just looks like a little blob, but I don't know how to read sonar, so... But it was in October last year, and it was sonar on a cruise ship that takes people across the loch. And this man's been doing this for a long time. He seems a very genuine, honest person. There is a video of it on YouTube if you want to see it. And he says that the sonar image has been verified by sonar experts. It can't have been doctored in any way. And it definitely shows that there is something large enough to be picked up on sonar down, I think he said, about 100 metres. I think it was that. It's quite a deep, dark loch. It was there for about 10 seconds. So not just a beep and gone as he moved along. There's also been a new photo of a man that was on holiday while lockdown was ended for a while, who took a photo of something big and dark in the waters. He is saying that he hasn't put it up there because he thinks it is Loch Ness. He believes it is like a giant catfish or a giant fish of some kind, and he just wanted people who knew more about fish to identify him. People are saying it's been photoshopped and it's a hoax, but he claims it is definitely true, and he only wanted to see if anyone could identify what type of fish. But when they did the DNA, there was no source of any DNA that showed catfish had been there either. But my thinking is maybe people were right in their legends of the kelpie. If it can change its form, maybe it does appear in different forms and guises. Maybe it has been shown to be a large, almost dinosaur type creature. Maybe it has been an eel shaped creature. Maybe it does change its little magical ways. Now, kelpies have been known for the centuries as a warning to tell children to not go into the waters that have been known to be dangerous. And they are known to take humans down the depths for sacrifices to the water gods. They take them deep underground and eat them. And I was listening to an interesting Scottish myths and folklore podcast today, and the lady on there told a story of how, depending on how many people are around and how many people get attached, because once you are on the back of a kelpie or touch the kelpie, that is it. You cannot get yourself off. You get on the back of a kelpie, you're doomed. But it can alter its size to fit on how many people are there. As she said in her story, there were 9 children by a broad expanse of water, and they all fit on that black horse because it primarily takes the shape of a black horse. Now, a 10th boy that was there stroked its neck and got stuck, but he managed to save himself at the last minute by cutting off his hand. How he cut his hand off, she didn't say, and I don't know what he was carrying around with him to be able to cut his hand off, but he managed to save himself while the rest of the 9 children died. Now, they've also been known to become human in shape and form, but they're also meant to always keep their hooves, which has in Christianity brought about the rumours of different devil sightings because of the hoof prints. Sorry, I got a bit more coffee. It's getting colder by the minute, but it's fine. But there's also a legend of the black horse that has been roaming by Loch Ness, and a Highlander knew that it was a kelpie. And now this kelpie had its own saddle and bridle, and these apparently are the source of its strength, their life, their longevity. And he cut off the horse's bridle, and apparently the kelpie pleaded with him to give it back to him. The man took the bridle. The kelpie followed him to his home, and he even said to him, "You won't be able to get back into your home because you've got a cross above your door and you can't bring our items through a holy door." But this Highlander was not stupid. He tossed the bridle through a window and got in that way. The kelpie, knowing he was, well, he'd lost basically, he'd been bettered, cursed and swore and stomped back off. But what if that was what Nessie sightings are? What if there is truth in these legends? What if there is a kelpie in Loch Nessie? And that's how it does appear, as a dinosaur shape to some. We don't know for sure, but it is meant to be large on the sonar images. There was once a set of photos. One had been proved to be a hoax, but the second photo they didn't use. No one knows anything about it. And I don't think anyone's ever seen it. But apparently there was something on that photo that was a bit more hard to explain than a hoax. Some of the sonar images that have been captured in the past have shown something large beneath, though it was said to have been blooms of algae and zooplankton. Perhaps our kelpie was clever enough to hide himself. On the sonar image that was taken in October on the cruise boat, someone in the comments of Facebook, or if you go and watch that video, I highly suggest you do because it is very interesting. They said it also looks like there's a cave in that sonar image. Now, other people in the comments have said that they've never heard of any caves like that on the bottom of Loch Nessie, and they've never known one to be found. But what if there is caves under there, and the kelpie goes in there? Someone has said that there are no Scottish submarines, at least, that are strong enough to go down to the depths. It's very cold and very murky. And maybe that is why no one's been able to find it. A lady on the comments on this YouTube video as well, who lives around there, said that she definitely thinks there is something there because the whole place has a very eerie feel to it. There's a whole eeriness. Someone asked her what she meant, and she said that especially at night the water, well, I don't know if it's just nighttime, but when it's dark, the water is just so dark. The joys of lockdown have only just really started, sorry. Children. Anywho, it seems that it's something that is never going to truly be disproved or proved. I'm, for one, being the sort of person that I am, hope that they never send better subs down there or better equipment. I hope that if Nessie's there, then I hope that she gets to stay there for as long as she has. and that no one tries to catch it or get rid of their myth. Because why should someone go in with high fancy falutin technology and rid them of a myth and something that has made them famous and stuff? It's not our place to get rid of people's myths and ideas, is it? So I truly do hope that no one suddenly goes, we've got submarines that will do that and it'll be fine, they'll fit in there hard and they'll withdraw they'll withstand the pressure, and I really wouldn't want to see that happen. And one of the best comments on that video, see if I can find it and link it, famous and stuff. It's not our place to get rid of people's myths and ideas, is it? So I truly do hope that no one suddenly goes, we've got submarines that will do that and it'll be fine, they'll fit in there hard and they'll withdraw they'll withstand the pressure, and I really wouldn't want to see that happen. And one of the best comments on that video, see if I can find it and link it, one of the best, and I think is one of the truest comments on the video, which I will try and find and link to in this episode for you. Someone commented, if they ever found the creature and it was there, the first thing they'd probably do would be kill it. And unfortunately, knowing what we're like, I actually think that would be true. They would either try and catch it, study it, figure out its secrets, maybe have it in a really small tank, not in the right conditions, or they would kill it to study its biology. So I hope to this day it doesn't happen. But if it is a kelpie, who knows? One hand on it and they'd be dead. There's also the thing that if it is a kelpie and it can turn into a human, maybe they don't have horse prints. Maybe that's just been an added bit of the legend. Maybe it is more like the painting that was drawn where they showed her as a lady, because most kelpies are actually men, I believe. Or they turn into men when they're in the human form. But what do? What if when people find them or try to find Nessie, she is actually standing there watching with maybe some great humour about the whole proceedings, because she's actually standing there on the bank watching them. That would be an awesome thought. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. Still not sure if I'm in focus, but hey ho. Hopefully I'm in frame better than I was in the one I quickly put up, because I didn't want you to think that I'd abandoned you all who actually subscribe and watch it. If you did like this video, then like, subscribe, hit that ding-a-ling. I am going to try and get, like I said, back in the pattern of doing them every Monday. If I start doing them ahead like I have done before. But I've got some awesome things planned for these coming episodes, so please bear with. Keep watching. There's going to be a few ghostly goings on in the coming episodes. I do hope you like this episode, and I hope that these episodes bring a little bit of joy in these weird, dark times. You're not on your own. We can get through this together. I hope that everyone out there who watches has got a good little close-knit. There are people around you. Like, how many ways can I say that to get to what I mean? But I hope there are people around you. You've got someone. You're not totally alone. If you are on your own, but you've got someone you can ring, you can call. Someone has set up something so you can video call, that you can go in a support bubble because you're on your own. You can always comment. Have a chat on here. You are so important. Never think you're not. Stay safe. Stay sane. Until next time. Goodbye.